This week on Culture Q, we boo up with Punk Adams.
Queer gamers call out Twitch.
And Sydney gives us all the pride we're missing. What is going on? It is Annie here.
And I'm Cheryl Lazar. This is Culture Q.
And here's some of the highlights from this week in queer culture.
The World Health Organization has declared monkeypox a global health emergency.
Although I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern, for the moment, this is an outbreak that's concentrated among men who have sex with men, especially those with multiple sexual partners. That means that this is an outbreak that can be stopped with the right strategies in the right groups.
Monkeypox is a rare disease that's rarely fatal, but does have really uncomfortable side effects, ranging from fever to a rash with pus-filled blisters, as we've seen in many photos shared on social media. Recently, the virus has been spreading at alarming rates, and as you heard, many of the cases have been in men who have sex with other men. This, of course, has led to some interesting stigmas among the LGBTQ community. On one hand, the CDC and the community at large is making sure it's supporting this demographic hit the hardest. On the other hand, we obviously don't want monkeypox branded as a gay disease which causes more harm. Washington Post contributor Benjamin Ryan implied that the idea that anyone could get the virus, while technically true, was misleading. Ryan tweeted that, "This is misinformation about monkeypox. The outbreak is occurring almost entirely among men who have sex with me." While that may have been a typo and Ryan isn't necessarily patient zero for monkeypox, the tweet did bring up an interesting trend. It's okay to acknowledge that men who have sex with men are being most affected, but it's important to point out that any unprotected sexual contact will put you at risk. And just any skin-to-skin contact, which could even happen, by the way, among households. Thankfully, more and more vaccines are being ordered and people are lining up to make sure they are safe from the virus. You can contact your PCP for testing and to see if you're eligible for the vaccine. Many of the public health websites have newsletters that will also provide you with the most up-to-date information.
Two popular Twitch streamers were suspended after allegedly responding to hateful comments. One of the streamers, Keffels, aka Clara Sorrenti, was booted from her Just Chatting channel for violating Twitch's speech guidelines. For context, Keffels is not known for gaming but delivering news to her LGBTQ fans. She was even featured in this amazing recent profile piece in the Washington Post. So what went down exactly? Keffels posted edited screenshots of some replies she was getting. Seems innocent, right? Well, that's when the account was mass reported and she was banned.
Let's see, your account is suspended, 30-day suspension. Repeated hateful slurs or symbols is the reason that I got banned. For a thumbnail that included hateful slurs that were directed at me.
After going through the appeals process, unfortunately her account is still disabled. The second person suspended was Star Trek Discovery actor Ian Alexander. The issue at hand, they told hateful viewers to touch grass, basically meaning that the bully should get outside and connect with nature for a bit. Alexander was then cut off midstream for violent hate speech, and thankfully they were luckier and the platform reinstated their account. And then Twitch shared this basic apology saying, "Your account was recently suspended or blocked due to mistake on our part." Okay, at least they somewhat took responsibility. Since March, Twitch has actually said that they take these activities seriously and have been working to put an end to these targeted attacks. But here's the thing, let's not forget that Twitch has seen their fair share of controversies around the community in the past. During Pride of 2020, they faced backlash when they said the G in LGBT+ stands for gamer. That said, they seem to be working on it. A year later, they get introduced transgender, bisexual, black, and disabled, among more than 350 new tags that their 30 million users can add to their videos. And this year, they threatened to bring legal action against trolls after seeing an increase in hate raids targeting LGBTQ+ streamers on the platform. So while Twitch has a long way to go towards inclusivity, we're happy to see they're making steps in the right direction.
And now let's take a look at some LGBTQ news happening around the world, starting with Pride in Budapest, which literally heated up this year. Temperatures got into the high 90s, but it didn't stop thousands of Hungarians who took to the streets to fight the government's latest anti-LGBTQ measures. This time it was in response to a law passed that would limit teaching about homosexuality and transgender issues in schools. Sound familiar? The European Commission even sued Hungary over the law, calling it a disgrace. And one marcher shared this: "It's important that we show ourselves, especially in a country where the political sentiment is like this towards LGBTQ people." I mean, we get it. And now over to Sydney, Australia, where Pride is evolving and the city decided to make it a fashion statement. As the city replaced their current flags with the Progress Pride flags, they didn't know what to do with the old ones. So Sydney's May Clover Moore announced that they would be recycled into more than 1,500 tote bags. The bags will carry a tag that says, "I used to be a City of Sydney" banner. They're 100% recycled and will be distributed by some of the city's many Pride organizations. So cute. And lastly, LGBTQ Cubans are one step closer to marriage equality and family planning rights. On Friday, July 22nd, the National Assembly of Cuba made a huge update to their family law. The changes would extend to women's rights, LGBTQ rights, and increase protection for children. This means LGBTQ couples would be able to marry. They would also have access to adoption, even of their spouse's kids, to legally become their parents. Currently, women make up 60% of professionals, have free access to abortion, and can claim up to 2 years of maternity leave. And that was some LGBT news you need to know.
Well, thanks for that news, Shira. Now on July 31st, Revry is bringing you the latest and greatest in queer music videos with the release of the newest episode of Music Out Loud, brought to you by Las Vegas. The series highlights artists like Grayson Chance, Jack Finn, Kit Major, The Culottes, and Luca Fisher, plus the sultry vocals and relatable lyrics of Punk Adams. And of course, we caught up with the eccentric artist to talk about his new music and what's on the horizon.
Oh, gotta watch myself, for I really fall in, gotta catch myself. I done had a few, but there ain't none like you.
Punk Adams is definitely one of the ones to watch out for in the latest Music Out Loud, brought to you by Las Vegas. The singer's latest single, Boo, featured in the special, is not only catchy with its homage to 90s pop, but is also relatable for anybody trying to find their own love.
I was just in a room by myself. I had a Bluetooth speaker, and I was just like thinking about like those 90s songs, those feel-good songs like SWV used to have, and like Pharrell and stuff like that. And I started thinking, I want to be a little more confident in my music, to talk about approaching someone.
The single, produced by people like Titus E.J. Johnson, makes everyone just want to dance by listening to the track, just like the music video does. With its flashy graphics, smooth transitions, and upbeat dancing, we can't see why you wouldn't.
Meet me round two, call me by your name and I'll do the same. You should come through.
The inspiration behind the video is still based off of my life. It's like, you feel like you don't want to boo, or you feel like, like the dating world, like with this inconsistencies, especially in today's world, okay? But then it's like that one person that makes you like change your mind about those things, or make you want to rethink that whole thing. It's like, you know what, I don't want anybody, but you're kind of cute.
And of course, when it came to being featured on Music Out Loud, Punk Adams had nothing but love to say about his fellow artists in the lineup.
First of all, it's a lot of pressure, okay? Like, it's so great, but it's also like, oh my gosh, look at all these great faces and all these people who've been a part of this, and like, I'm just honored to be amongst those people that are part of the music for Out Loud.
Last but not least, Punk gave some great advice to anyone else in the emerging artist lineup who are hoping to make it big.
Trust your instincts and stay patient. Because the thing about inconsistent, because a lot of times like we look for other people to give directions, or like we look for permission for other people. And you don't need permission to be told that your idea is great or that you should be the next great big thing, no matter what that is. So I would just say trust your instincts and stay patient and consistent. Okay.
You can catch Punk and all the other Music Out Loud artists at 5 p.m. Eastern, July 31st, only on Revry.
So cool, and now some more shows here on Revry you got to check out. This week we're celebrating International Friendship Day with 3 picks all about weird and wonderful bonds. In Naz and Malik, the 2 closeted Brooklyn Muslim teens are friends, classmates, business partners, and lovers. As they go about their regular Friday afternoon routine, they have suspicions that an undercover FBI agent is tracking them. This complex tale of race, religion, and sexuality features tremendous performances from both Kerwin Johnson Jr. as Naz and Curtis Cook Jr. as Malik. It's an intimate and exceptionally well-crafted drama that debut feature from writer-director Jay Dockendorf. This next selection is honestly giving me life. Giving Me Life in the Land of Deadass is a dramedy series about 6 Black and Latinx friends of diverse sexualities as they struggle to live and love in New York City. The story centers around Nala. When Nala loses her job at a nonprofit due to gentrification, she soon discovers that her power to the people politics aren't exactly what you'd call transferable skills. Finally, Jack and Yaya follows the best friends who met at 3 through their shared backyard fence in their small hometown in South Jersey. As they grow up, they continue supporting each other as they both came out as transgender. This docuseries follows them over a year and explores their unique relationship, drawing on home videos and conversations with their eclectic cast of friends and family. You can stream all of these titles right now, right here on Revry.
Finally, we've got some Culture Q inspiration involving one meteorologist who seems to be weathering his own storm. David Bernard is the chief meteorologist for WVUE TV in New Orleans. He received a letter from a viewer saying, "Nice job predicting the weather," and then finished off with a dangerous slur. Bernard went on to post it on Facebook saying, "I received a disturbing email yesterday from a person who was upset about the forecast. After 30 years, I can stand and accept criticism when I get it wrong. What I won't accept are personal attacks about me." He then called out the troll's bad grammar, writing, "And by the way, the word has 2 G's. Yep, sometimes grammar burns are the best burns, and many were thankful that he shared his story, including Liz Coe, a journalist from Baton Rouge who said, "David, I'm sorry people like this take time out of their day to be hateful and ugly." Bernard also acknowledged the reality of sharing his experience while encouraging people to donate to the nonprofit The Trevor Project. It is not easy for many people still today who feel marginalized. He added, "Comments like the one in the email are like a death by 1,000 cuts for those that don't have a support network in place." And with over 2,000 comments and 195 reshares, it's clear Bernard's message is being spread.
Definitely good for him. And that's all for this week in Culture Q. I'm Shira Lazar.
And it's Annie Wani signing out.
Thanks again for hanging out with us this week.
And be sure to join us every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live and always on demand, right here on Revry.